Order accepted.
Since one of the main purposes of the Staircase is to introduce new players to Starcraft, we're going to go over some of the basics in this first part. Click here if you want to skip this section. Okay, time to go over some of the basic ground rules to help you get off on the right foot. Number 1. This area over here in the bottom right part of the screen is called the command card. Please put your right hand over your heart and repeat after me. No matter how many lings flood my base, no matter how big the Protoss death ball becomes, and whether or not Terran has 3/3 bio, I will never, for any reason real or imaginary, of Terran descent or Xel'Naga creation, from now until Amon come, issue even a single click in this mechanic's forsaken place that is called the command card. Good! Number 2. You can find your attack hotkey by looking at your command card. Select some units and press the button that appears over this symbol. Next, left-click on the ground behind your enemy. This is called an attack move. For the time being, use this with all army units. On to economy. StarCraft 2 has 3 resources: minerals, gas, and supply. They can be seen by looking at the top right portion of your screen. Minerals here, gas here, current supply here, and maximum supply here. On step 1, we will be dealing with only minerals and supply to make it easier. Next, you're going to need to know what control groups and location keys are. Fortunately, we have 2 short videos on that. If you don't fully understand control groups and location keys, pause this video and go watch those videos now. Just do it. Welcome back. For this step, we will be using 3 control groups, a location key for each base, and a location key for the rally point. One control group is for the nexuses and forges. Use this to make probes. One is for the gateways. Use this to make zealots. And the last one is for the army, which for the time being is just zealots. Take a look at the keys you need to press to make these things happen. If it helps, write it down in a notebook so you can glance over at it if you forget. Also, quickly take note of the key to build a probe. Start up a game of StarCraft 2. This can be on the ladder, versus AI, versus your friends, in a 1 versus 1, team games, or free-for-all, whichever you decide you like the most. As the game is loading, hold down the key to build a probe and focus. When the game has loaded, click the nexus. Because you're still holding a key to build a probe when you do this, a probe will start building immediately. Try to keep probes continuously building out of your nexus. This is harder than it sounds. Next, add the nexus into a control group and create all of the locations for bases. Remember to always use the control group to build probes. Do not click the building on the main screen. When you have 100 minerals and 9 out of 10 supply, build a pylon. This will increase your maximum supply by 8. When you have 150 minerals and 1 probe in the queue, build a gateway and add it to your gateway control group. This will allow you to build your first army unit, the Zealot. Once the gateway is done, keep the Zealots coming, just like the probes. You can use the Nexus's Chrono Boost ability to make the probes or Zealots build faster. Remember to always use the control group to build units. Do not click the building on the main screen. Set your rally point by right-clicking and set up a location key for this area. Whenever a Zealot is produced, jump to your rally cam and add it to your army control group. Just like the other 2 control groups, don't click on the Zealots themselves once they're in the control group. Use the control group to move them and issue commands. This will change on step 2. When you have 100 minerals, 1 probe in the Nexus queue, and 1 Zealot in the Gateway queue, build another pylon. From now on, build a pylon whenever your maximum supply is 10 away from your current supply. When you are between 16 and 24 probes mining minerals, build a Nexus and add it to your Nexus control group. The 25th probe that you send to mine minerals does nothing but bounce between patches looking for a place to mine. So ideally, you want to have your next Nexus finish before you reach 24 probes at your current base or bases. Once you reach 3 bases with 16 probes mining minerals at each, stop making probes. Your 4th Nexus should finish before your first base runs out of minerals, your 5th when your 2nd does, etc., etc. By now you've likely built up a bit of an army, so go out and defeat your enemy with attack moves. You can click on the minimap instead of the ground to make things easier for you. Do not look at your army anymore. If you notice on your minimap that your army has stopped attacking, use your control group to select them and issue another attack move command with the minimap. Once you've got the hang of this, it's time to get creative. Here are the rules for Step 1 Protoss. 1. You may not mine gas. 2. You may not look at your army outside your base. That is all. These are concrete rules that form the boundaries for all of Step 1. You might ask, can I build cannons? The answer would be, you may not mine gas. You might ask, can I get upgrades? The answer would be, you may not mine gas. You might even ask, can I build an assimilator but not mine from it? And the answer would be, you may not mine gas. So, before you ask, try your hand at some logic and see if the question can be answered by one of these 2 rules. You can do anything that the rules do not say you cannot do. So, start exploring the game, learn all about the things that cost only minerals. They are the foundation of Protoss. Here are some examples. You could proxy 2-gate. You could 1-gate expand. You could do a cannon rush. When it comes down to it, you are learning to do 3 things: supply, units, money. Supply means check your supply and make sure your maximum supply stays about 10 ahead of your current supply. Units means to make probes and zealots. Never have more than 2 in each queue at a time. Money means check to see if you have resources in the bank after putting up to 2 in each queue. If you do, build more gateways and or nexuses. Then go back to checking your supply. As a side note, it's a good idea to use your chrono boost as it becomes available to you. Try to keep your nexuses below 200 energy at all times. GG Tracker will keep track of this for you. When you have a good chunk of zealots, or you just feel like attacking, send them across the map to attack your opponent. When you win, it will be by the sheer power of macro that you overwhelm your opponent. When you lose, your opponent will have either made more stuff than you or made smart decisions to take advantage of your self-imposed restriction. The best part about macro is, even if they know it's coming, even if they know how to beat it, if their macro is not strong enough, they will lose, and there is nothing that will save them. Remember, lose or win, your goal is to pass. Upload your replay to ggtracker.com and check your benchmarks. If all of your benchmarks meet or exceed your league goal, you have passed. When you have passed 4 out of your last 5 games, it's time to move on to step 2.